A teacher humiliates a little girl in front of the class, and she gets the best revenge. In the realm of education, two distinct types of teachers exist: those who go the extra mile for their students and those who fall short. The former group willingly invests extra time to assist struggling students, offering a compassionate ear for personal issues and taking pride in their students' achievements without seeking credit. They ensure their students know their accomplishments are their own, with the teacher merely offering guidance along the way. Conversely, the latter group does the minimum required to collect their paycheck. They lack the patience for struggling students, often allowing them to flounder rather than providing assistance. This lack of understanding and empathy can be detrimental to students and the educational system as a whole. This is the story of when a teacher humiliated an 8-year-old girl in front of the class, but then that girl takes the ultimate revenge. The best part about this story is that there is an actual video of the little girl's revenge. The situation occurred in Russia. The teacher was trying to teach the students English, and he had a student standing at the board. The entire video was in Russian. However, English subtitles do allow you to see what's happening in the video. Why the lesson was being recorded is still unknown. However, when you get to the end of the video, you'll be happy that there was someone in the classroom filming. The teacher had a young girl at the chalkboard, and he was trying to teach her the English words for you and I. Well, she didn't seem to understand what the teacher was trying to say. Rather than calmly explaining these words to the student, he just kept yelling the words in her face. He did it over and over again. You could tell the girl was becoming very uncomfortable. Not only was her teacher, a person in her life that she should have trusted, yelling at her, he was doing so in front of the entire class. No child wants to get yelled at by a teacher in front of their peers. It can be very upsetting and extremely embarrassing. This type of scolding can scar a child. When things like this happen, the child is not going to want to go in front of the class when called in the future. Eventually, the child could completely lose their thirst for knowledge and their love of learning. The teacher in this video clearly does not understand that, or he doesn't care, and he continued to yell at the girl when she wasn't getting the answers correct. There's a good chance that if the teacher had stopped yelling at the little girl for just a second and calmly explained to the girl what he needed her to know, she may have understood the lesson. Instead, he was yelling, banging on the chalkboard, and making her incredibly nervous. It's impossible for a child to learn anything in those kinds of circumstances. The teacher should have known that, but some people just should not be teachers, and this man is one of them. Halfway through the video, things begin to get scary. He goes from being downright mean to violent when he starts trying to teach the little girl the English word for you. She's already nervous and flustered, and she's not answering him at all. At this point, he made it impossible for her to understand. The longer she stood there, the angrier he became. When she didn't respond, he started hitting her in the head. He was showing her that you meant her, but she didn't respond. He just kept hitting her in the head, yelling. Finally, it became too much for the little girl to take. The last time he hit her in the head, she had had enough. She lifted her leg and kicked him in the groin. He doubled over in pain as she ran out of the room. Soon after, the camera stops. Violence is not the answer, especially in a classroom. But, well, you know, in the little girl's defense, this teacher became violent first. He had it coming. He began hitting her in the head over and over again. This is something that would never be tolerated in a school in the United States and many other parts of the world. In most schools, there is a zero-tolerance policy for a teacher striking a child in any way, for any reason. Something like this would get most teachers fired in a moment. Unfortunately, there is nothing online about the teacher, the student, or what happened after the girl took out her revenge on this teacher. The video quickly went viral, though. It currently has almost 7 million views, and it also received 675 likes. If the school was recording the lesson, there's a possibility that the school administration saw the incident and disciplined the teacher instead of the student. However, if a student recorded the lesson, they might not have been able to access the video. In such a scenario, One can only hope that when the video went viral, the school system where this teacher was employed took action and fired him immediately. Striking a child is never acceptable, especially for a teacher. There are two types of teachers in the world, as mentioned earlier, those who care and those who don't. This video clearly demonstrates that the teacher in question does not belong in any classroom. Patience is a key quality that makes a good teacher, and this teacher displayed none. He deserves to face consequences for his actions, and perhaps this incident will ensure he never harms another child again.